Hello farmers, welcome back to Wyther Farms. Decided to come over here and just check on the grass field where the day before I put fertilizer and lime on down. So that's going to soak into the ground through the winter. And the grass should be nice and grown full sometime late next spring, depends on how the winter goes. It was a little chilly this morning, but the temperatures are rising. It was like in the mid-30s this morning. We're already up to the mid-40s. I am liking that quite a bit. Nice, crisp fall air to start the day. Well, start the day, it's like 10:30 in the afternoon. All my equipment is in the shed, and I think I'm done using it for the year because winter is approaching. Our TA is nice and tucked in. All of our equipment is kind of like put away. Repair probably early next spring when I get a chance because I won't have much to do other than maybe seed our big barley field. Got my lime bags in here that we had left over from the field. And we're pretty much all set. But I do have a couple of jobs today. But I'm not going to take the TA tractor to the job. One, we got to go up by Wyther Farms. And the equipment should be waiting for us up there. I got to cultivate a field up there right next to Wyther Farms. And while I'm up there, I'll probably just check on the farm for Mr. Withers and Sherman. But then I got to bring the equipment that I'm using up there and bring it on down here because I got to cultivate this field as well. Wait a minute. Wait. How did I get in there? I gotta get in here. I need to get in here. I thought I knew how to get to this field, but I don't think I do. I never really just look over the. I mean, I live right here, but I never really checked on how to get into this field. I thought it was gonna be just like right around the corner there, but it is not. Well, I better go ahead and have a little quick run around this field here. Where do I get in? Little pig, let me in. Yeah, the farmer was down here yesterday while I was finishing up the grass field, and they want to know if I want to do some work for them. Most of the farmers around here know I'm looking for work, so I said, yeah, I'd be willing to go ahead and cultivate this field. They said, well, before you do that, can you cultivate another field for me? I was like, well, I guess. I don't have really nothing planned for today and the rest of the fall, although I do have a rent-a-car ready for the winter to go over and see Sherman and Mr. Withers. Where do I get into this field anyways? Definitely going to get my exercise in this morning. I got to run around this field to figure out how to get in. And then I got to jog on up to Wyther Farms and get the equipment up there. Where? Hello? Maybe that's why no one cultivates this field, because you can't get into it. Well, it's going to be one of those fields that, not the way you get into it, the way you thought you would. But luckily for me, I'm kind of need to go this direction anyways. Let's see. Then would I drive up this hedgerow maybe through here? Oh, well, up by the store? I know there's an entryway here by the store a little ways up this way, but man, I would not think to get to field number 32, as they call it, through there. But I guess that's the way we're going to do it. I think the entryway to this hedgerow is up here by this intersection. There we go. Well, that's not going to be too bad. I mean, at least it's not on the other side of the way, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. All right, going to get my exercise in. I'm already halfway to Wyther Farms, so it's not that big of a deal at this point. And yeah, they said, well, I should be able to handle the tractor that's up here, which makes me think that it's going to be bigger than the T8 because they know what tractor I have. They saw me using it. So they said I should be able to handle it. I mean, if it was a smaller tractor, they wouldn't say you should have no problem. They just said you should have no, should be okay for this one here. Up the road we go. And I guess since I'm passing Wyther Farms first, I'll just have a quick peek in here. So whoever bought this field from them is not doing anything with it, which is rather interesting, but maybe they haven't had a chance to get over here. Let's have a quick look around here. This is a really nice farm. I wish I could afford it, but I know I can't. Speaking of afford, I did get a call back from the people I bought all of the grass cutting material from. The mower, the silage baler, the baler itself. Yep, the silo, we finally came up with a deal. And they're going to set it up for me even this winter, which is great. It is going to cost me $50 grand in total. It was going to be like 42 something for the silo, but they're going to charge me transportation fees for everything. And it's a pretty decent sized silo, so I'm going to be pretty pleased about that. I think they're going to set up while I'm gone visiting the Wythers. So I'll be out of the yard, and then they know it's so big. We decided to place it. They gave me the dimensions of it. We're going to place it right in the middle of our open lot right there, and it should have no problem holding the grain that we need. So everything should be good on the silo, but it's going to cost me 50 grand. Right now I do have 42 grand in the bank because I did get paid from the BGA last night handsomely. 30,000 pounds of cash came in from the BGA. So that's going to be helpful. So I probably am going to have to borrow a little bit of cash from the bank to pay for that silo. But I don't think my lender is going to have too big of an issue. Looks like today we're driving the T9, the T9 565 New Holland. The T8's big brother. And looks like this is a cultivator we got to cultivate this field and the one next to our field as well. So yeah, I don't think our lender's going to have too much trouble at the bank lending us a little bit extra cash. If I tell them, yeah, it's for a silo and I get better money for the crop, so it'll definitely help us on out. A little bit of a chilly morning, so let's give this thing a good second to warm on up. And while we're here, they'll unfold the cultivator. What do we got to deal with? That's a decent working with, I think. Oh, okay, it's a little bit bigger than I thought it was. Even better. I guess that's why we got a T9, right? Just make sure everything is on the ready here. Yeah, the pin is pretty darn good into the cultivator, so that should have no problem there. On the wrong side of the hedge here. Yeah, everything's looking fine. Should be good to go. I mean, if this farm's got a T9, I'm pretty sure they take really good care of their equipment, so I'm not going to have any issues here. At least I don't think. All right, let's go ahead and lower that down. There we go. Start off slow. And we are set to go. Now, the only difference between the T8 and the T9, other than the size and bigger horsepower, it's an articulated tractor, which does take a little bit more use to getting, a little bit driving to get used to, because when you turn the steering wheel, where it pivots is just a little bit different. So it just takes a little few times around the field to get used to it. Then, like I said, after I finish this field, we'll take it on down to the other one. I am getting paid a couple £1,000 today for cultivating these two fields, so I should have no problem getting it done. I mean, like I said, it's just shy of 11 o'clock in the morning. But being that winter is approaching, daylight hours are getting shorter and shorter every day. But I will say this, it seems like in the spring and the fall, the sunrises and sunsets seem to be more spectacular than any other time of the year. Not sure why that is, maybe the angle of the sun and all that. But this is a pretty good sized cultivator, so it's not going to take me too long, I don't think, to get these two fields done today. Now, I don't have any work to do around my farm. We got the grass field all set. That's ready to go until next season. And, of course, we got the big barley field, I guess we're calling it. I still haven't decided what I want to do for that next season. I'm going to try to check out the market and see what the market is showing me. So what I would like to do is find out when it's harvest time what crop sells good in the middle, or I probably should say late summer, early fall. My guess is not much is going to be selling good for that point, but the good news is if nothing seems to be peaked out just right, we are going to have a silo to put our crops in and store it until the price is good. And I will say I'm pretty impressed with the silo. If it's as big and capable as what they say it is, it's going to be a nice addition to our farm and definitely help us out in expanding the farm. One, because we got a silo, but two, getting more money for the crops. I mean, this year we had to harvest the crops and just sell them for whatever the price was because had nowhere to store it. But what this is going to allow us to do is store the crops and sell it when the price is high. And that's what we want to do. And by doing so, the farm will earn more cash. And before long, maybe expand to start buying some more fields. And the more fields you buy, the more cash comes in, the more we can expand. Now, I was kind of thinking about trading in the baling equipment and all that stuff, but it would be nice, but the silo is more important. So, yeah, we're going to stick with the silage equipment that we got for at least another year. And hopefully by next season, by selling all the silage that we have, and of course, with our big barley field that we have, we'll get enough cash to maybe we can trade in next season. We'll see. Small steps, small steps. That's all I can say. But the silo will be here this winter. The deal's already done. I mean, I saw a picture of the silo. I didn't go and look at it. I mean, we just pretty much, he called me last night on the phone and said, sent me a picture on the phone, and it looked pretty darn good. So, yeah, some parts were already missing, though. They already got it halfway disassembled because they're building a new silo themselves, because they're expanding quite a bit, and that silo doesn't fit their needs anymore. But I'm telling you, I'm already liking this. I have not seen the T9 in a while. But it's hauling this cultivator pretty darn good. Even uphill, we're having no problem keeping up at 9 miles an hour. She is cruising rather well. Now, like I also said, I've already got a rented truck for going over to see Sherman and Mr. Withers this winter. Definitely going to take a truck because, well, you never know with the weather. The snow could definitely be a little bit of a problem, so I'm going to take a truck on the trip. Right now, I just plan to be gone for the day. If I stay long enough, I may get like a hotel room to stay overnight. Who knows? But I mean, I'm not going to have no work to do around here during the winter anyways. So it may be good just to get out of that little log cabin that I got. Go stay in a hotel room for a day. I don't know, maybe 2. Just get away from it for a little while. And then when spring rolls around, I'll be fresh as a daisy and ready to get back to work. Now, I still do plan on giving Sherman and Mr. Withers an extra 10,000 pounds for letting me harvest their field this year. At least be able to use their field this year. We got a decent amount of crop off it. So this did help us out more than I thought it would. So that's why, and I know they're having some money issues. At least they say they are. So I think they'll be happy to get an extra 10,000 pounds. As far as I can see, they're not getting many people stopping looking at their farm either. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll just, maybe I'll kind of bring up to Sherman, like if they still don't sell the farm next season, if it's possible, I could maybe rent the field for next year as well. So I'm definitely going to ask that, because I don't want to wait until springtime to ask, because then I'll have to jumble things together and get thoughts together of how I want to work it. So if I can find out when I get over there this winter, that way when spring rolls around, I'm ready to work the field if needed. So on this field here, I think we'll get a couple headlands down. Then I can just work my way back and forth. I see a lot of farmers on the fields around here planting oilseed as a good crop cover. Get some fertilizer back into the ground. Never seen it used so much. A lot of fields around, especially the fields around our farm, those fields are covered in oilseed crop. This T9 would be nice to have around our farm. We don't need it. I'm just saying it would be nice to have it. Be a little bit overkill for what we have. Although that field that we have, the barley field, that is a pretty big size field. So get more fields like that, then maybe one day I could have the T9 in our arsenal. All the trees are looking rather nice around here. Fall foliage is in full bloom. I love fall, but the season that comes after that, not a big fan of too much anymore. Luckily, I don't have to work in it too much. As a farmer, not much you can do when it snows out there. Yeah, the C9 actually is struggling. I don't want to say struggling, but we are slowing down a bit going up the hill this time. Now we're down to 7 miles an hour or so. But this is a pretty decent sized cultivator.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. We don't need no can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. You and I can weather any storm. Ooh, ooh, oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more.
One field down, another one to go, and I'm glad I looked around for the opening for the other field, because I would have drove down to my own farm and tried to find the way in and been lost for about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or so. Got my beacons going, so hopefully, I mean, it's a big tractor and cultivator. I would think people would see me coming down the road, but you never know. But with the beacons on, it should be more visible to them. I don't want to miss this entryway here, which is going to be just before the shop. But if I miss it, I guess then I'll be going on down to my farm to turn around. But no, it's going to be right here. And then I'm going to have to zig and zag my way through. Doesn't look like many farmers take this pathway, so am I the odd one? A lot of people would say I am the odd one. But it didn't take me that long to do that big of a field, so this field's probably like half the size. So it's already 1:30 in the afternoon, so I should be done by 4 o'clock, which is good for me. Gives me a little time just to walk around the farm a little bit. Like I said, I don't really have much to do, but that's the field right there I'm heading to, and this is how you get in there. Nice and easy. All right, let me turn around. Am I in far enough? Probably not. Definitely get stuck on the hedgerow if I do something. So let's go ahead and unfold it now. Now that I'm off and running, just got to do the same thing in this field as I did the other one. Do a couple of headland runs Yeah, on the other field, I decided to do about 3 headlands around it because being a big tractor as it is and a big cultivator, I need some room to turn around. So probably do the same thing here to give me some, do 3 headlands and give myself plenty of room at the edge of the fields to turn around. This makes my job a little bit easier. I know the farmer said to leave the tractor and cultivator in the field and they'll come by and get it in a day or so, but what I'll probably do is drive it back to my farm. I'll give it a good wash as well, wash the cultivator and the tractor, and then I may even back it up into the shed area just to get it under the cover. That way it's out of the elements. I will text the farmer, let him know it's actually going to be in my shed, and just come by whenever he needs to. Because like I said, I don't expect to be taking my tractors or any of my equipment out for the rest of the season. Even when I leave to go see Sherman and Mr. Withers, the rental company is going to drop off the pickup truck right at my door front, so I don't have to even go anywhere. I may take the tractor out once or twice, go to the store, see Sally, and get some grub, some food. That'd be a good thing. I mean, I could just have it delivered, but it'll be good to not sit in the cabin all day long. It is going to look a lot weirder for sure for a couple of days when I come back and see a huge silo in the middle of my lot. Definitely going to change the looks of, I guess we can definitely call it a farm at that point. You got a shed and a silo? Yeah, it's definitely going to be a farm. I thought about in the, what I plan to do for the home, but really the home, that's really all I need. Got myself a little bunk, a nice little bed in there, a sink, a stove. That's all I really need. Well, other than the bathroom as well. Turned out to be a really nice fall day. When I woke up this morning, like I said, it was like mid-30s. It was a little brisk this morning. Last winter was rather mild, so I'm hoping that this winter is the same, so I can get working right away next season. But we'll have a good think about. Maybe I'll ask Sherman and Mr. Withers what's a good crop to plant and sell around here mid-year, but I don't know if I should be asking them because it seemed like they were having some money issues, so maybe they weren't financially inclined of when things should be done. So I will do my own research, but it doesn't hurt to ask them just to get some kind of an opinion on it. There we go. There's one headland done. I wonder if any of these farmers are going to replant before winter comes around. I mean, we are mid-October, so I guess they got a couple more weeks that they possibly could get some crop in. I think the ground temperature is still warm enough for cereal crop for sure if they can plant that. But after seeing the barley field that we bought, that was planted last season, and we harvested this year, there was, I don't want to say a decent amount of crop loss in that field. But it was enough to make me think, that's why I didn't bother planting in the field. I'd rather wait and plant it next year, and hopefully the crop grows well from spring to summer. And that way this doesn't have to go through winter with it possibly getting, losing some crop from the frost. Although cereal crop is usually pretty darn hardy. And like I said, last winter was rather mild, but you never know what the weather has for in store. So that's why we're waiting until next season. Plus financially I wasn't quite there probably to lease a drill and to also I don't know if it's going to take that much seed, but it's a decent sized field. But it will be fun next year to drill that field, do all the work ourselves. Now that field should not need lime because we limed it last season. but it will need fertilizer for sure. And I don't want to say if it goes well for me, I might even be replanting in the field up by Wyther Farms. Good for me, not so good for them. It has been very satisfying watching this oilseed radish being cultivated into the fields today. Don't know why it is, but just makes me feel good. Maybe because we're fertilizing the land for our fellow farmers. And they should have some pretty good yield on these fields next year, seeing that they're fertilizing the way they are. I thought about, this should have been a good idea. I should have done this, but then I would have had at least a drill to plant the oilseed radish to begin with. So I got the fees for leasing the drill and buying seed. And then I would have had to lease a cultivator to cultivate it in. And I'm trying to think, would that save me money rather than just fertilizing it outright with this, artificial fertilizer? Not too sure. But something to think about in the future. But looks like I might be done just around 4 o'clock, which I was kind of hoping. I didn't want to get too late into the evening. I know it sounds weird when I say 4 o'clock is getting to the evening, but in the fall, that sun does set a little bit earlier than you're ready for it. And just when you think, okay, the sun's going to set around this time, well, the further you go in the fall, the sooner the sun sets, and it surprises you once in a while. I got about 2 more passes after this, looks like. And then I'll zigzag my way out of here, bring this tractor and cultivator to our farm, get the pressure washer out, I'll wash it up for him, and then park it into the shed if I got room. I mean, they were going to leave it parked outside anyways, so if I just leave it parked outside, I don't think it'll matter too much. I will make sure I give it a good rinse for him, get all the dust off. And I'll get myself a nice little bit of a paycheck. Nice days. I'm glad I got some work, because it would have been kind of sad to be sitting around here for the last few days of fall, not getting no work. I need to go over, I should say, to see Mr. Who and see if he needs any work done, but I'm not sure about him. I mean, I'm doing work for a guy I have yet seen, so it's just he pays me though, so I can't complain about that. He just seems a little bit off, I guess is what I'll say. And I'm not sure. I don't think really is on the good side of Mr. Withers and Sherman. Looking really good. They should be happy. I think I got every little oilseed radish that was on both fields. Well, maybe not every single one. I may have missed 5 or 6. But when it comes to the corners and this big equipment, I didn't want to get too close. I didn't want to hit anything and wreck anything. Alright, let's raise that on up. And then fold it on in. Just imagine the T9 at my farm. Never know, dreams can come true. And really, once I get the silo, like I said, and then we start harvesting more and more crop, and I can sell the crop at the right time, I'll definitely earn a little bit more cash than what we did last season with the barley. It's kind of weird. The path through here is pretty well noticeable, but once you get right around here, it like disappears. Either the soil around here is pretty well has a lot of nutrients in it. That's why the grass grows back so quick. Should put my beacons on. Let everyone know we're coming. I don't remember that field being grass over there. Alright, zip on down the road. So I don't have any more money coming in this year other than if I do some more labor work around here, but being, like I said, mid-October, I don't think we're going to find much more work to do. And I think most of the farmers around here, if they are going to do more work, they pretty much know who's going to be doing the work. But you never know. Just like yesterday, I was taking care of the grass field, and this farmer showed up next door and said, "Hey, you want to do some work for me?" I was like, "Sure. Sign me up." Boy, if I ever do get much bigger equipment, I may have to trim some of those trees down. Limbs are starting to hang awfully low. Yeah, so the silo's going to go right about here, and it's going to take quite a bit amount of space. I'm actually surprised I'm only getting it, not just the silo and transportation, for $50,000. That is pretty darn good, but they were looking at it as they were going to have to pay to get rid of it, trash it. Alright, let's give this T9 a good wash and the cultivator a good wash. I'm going to go inside and have an early dinner because I had a late breakfast and no lunch. So, get this cleaned on up. Do I have room in this shed to... Whew, I mean, I'll back it up towards my T8. Hopefully I don't back up too far and nudge that. That would not be good for their cultivator and my tractor.